She's a must. They gonna give her. If she ever get a nappy head, she wouldn't have got no 30 million. She got a damn a month supply of McDonald's for $50,000 because she's a half breed. She's a must. They gonna give her $30 million.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. And the clip you just saw was of a OG rapper, something like that, basically saying he's close friends of Diddy and that Cassie did something to deserve what we saw him do to her in that video. And he's claiming that because of her phenotype, her admixture, and her beauty, that she doesn't deserve the empathy that the public has been giving her. And that if she happened to be an unambiguous dark-skinned woman with 4C hair, that she would have gotten Mickey D's instead of $300 million. As if that's something to gloat about, as if that would be proper retribution in any way for either parties. And there's another clip that I'm going to show you guys of an unambiguous black woman basically saying that the same thing that he said, but basically like just putting her foot in her mouth completely and saying that she basically doesn't deserve empathy at all. And that if she was dark-skinned, that we wouldn't be giving her the same amount of empathy. And a lot of people in her comments were calling her out. So I'll show you guys that clip right now.
Cassie was Diddy's side chick when he was with Kim. So initially I was like, there is no way I could have the same level of sympathy and compassion for Cassie the way that everybody else does, is because I will always see her as a woman who saw another woman being hurt and cheated on and lied to and abused, and thought that because she was prettier, younger, and Latina, that she wasn't going to be a victim of his. So I don't look at it how everybody else looks at it. I don't see her as a victim. I see her as someone who chose this lifestyle over and over and over again because she wanted a decent career. She wanted to be connected to somebody famous, and she wanted to be financially stable. Cassie was Diddy's side chick when he was.
So the black community basically lacks empathy for Cassie simply because of her admixture and her phenotype and her pretty privilege. They are using the late Kim Porter as an object of triangulation based off alleged reports from another unambiguous black woman. The black dark-skinned man called Cassie a mixed breed gold digger and a thief and normalized DV just because of her looks. And if she had looked a certain way, that it would be different, just to sway the public's opinion into victim blaming and slut shaming her. It seems the diddler is having his flying monkeys run a smear campaign on Cassie since the general public is no longer supporting his lies. I wasn't surprised to hear a Dusty talk like that, but myself and others who follow this female creator, and I said female because the lack of humility and empathy in her video is sick. But here are some of the reactions from the comment section of her basically getting dragged. And so the first comment says, side chick or not, no woman deserves to be physically and mentally brutalized by any man, period. And not for nothing, we really know the mind of any person in an abusive relationship, whether wife or side chick, or even the fear they endure. I don't, because I've never been abused, so I definitely can't judge, and you shouldn't either. Another woman says, it's sad to hear another female speak this way. Another woman says she was 19. What the F did you know at 19? Someone else also says this is not about race. And Shamika says, this is not about race. You are a disappointment. Your heart is cold. You don't know the details. You are assuming. And then we have Wanda Faye saying she has a valid point. She did choose the lifestyle, whether or not she was lied to by Diddy. She knew he was with Kim and had kids with him. And someone else comes down and says, by your logic, Diddy didn't owe Kim loyalty. Cassie owed Kim. Have a seat and educate yourself about power dynamics and relationships and humanity. Shame. Someone else says, if you were a side chick, I pray you don't ever suffer the way she did. That's sad to talk. And if you look, Wanda Faye, she looks like an unambiguous dark-skinned black woman in the picture, which is insane. Deborah Shade says, girl, you have an evil soul. They were both victims. I completely agree. Ashley says, well, a friend of Kim pretty much was saying the same thing that Cassie would laugh at Kim. Virgil says, I wonder what the woman would say if a man said this, which is totally understandable, because if a man was just say something like that, he would have been canceled. I feel like only because she's a dark-skinned, unambiguous woman is she allowed to say that this woman doesn't deserve empathy for the abuse that she endured. That's just insanity. Sheila says, I do agree with what she's saying, but I'm against domestic violence, period. Cassie knew of Kim's abuse, and most women think they're better than the ex. And that Diddy treated all his women the same, and so he know Cassie still did not deserve to be abused, beaten, and neither did Kim. She's going to have to learn from her mistakes and decisions on choosing a man she knew was abusing women. That's on her. I still have empathy for both women. Someone else says that lady she was probably lied to also. He probably told her one thing and told the other something different. Girl, please. They are both victims. And Danielle says that has nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with him abusing her. What the hell is wrong with him? Stop. Someone else says they were all side chicks and loved the luxury lifestyle, willing participants. Also another dark-skinned woman saying that. Day says that she was a 19-year-old child, groomed and manipulated. What he did was wrong. Dr. Latoya says, I'm going to have to be honest, a lot of people don't have sympathy and compassion for you. You've also made some not so smart decisions about a man. You may have different decisions, but those decisions were still dumb. This is coming from a woman who has never been a side chick. Bernice says that's a sad way of thinking. Someone else says, who said that she thought she was prettier? Exactly. Literally, when did she ever say that? Like, who said that she thought she was prettier? Did she say that? No, you're a hater. She was a kid. Literally. Like, that is so insane. And they're always talking about how dark-skinned black girls are adultified, as if light-skinned black girls don't have, like, the opposite side of that coin, and that we're not seen as more mature than what we are as well because of our beauty. People feel like we should know better. Like, we should know when some guy is being a creep, as if we're not a literal child. Jolie Turner says, B, she is an African American and Mexican. You need help. I'm praying for you. Exactly. Bianca, who's an unambiguous dark-skinned black woman, says, plenty of women doing this, and they are not Cassie or Diddy. How many women had babies by men they knew were deadbeats and abusive and kept telling the other women, oh, he don't treat me like, look how we're vibing, etc. Let's be clear, she was willing and subjecting to the pressure of the Diddy world. I can generally say if those documents get in her mind, whatever. Basically, she's saying she's victim blaming. Just insanity. Cess Rivera says, how do you know what Cassie thought and chose? It's such a blessing. She doesn't need your sympathy. And what does Latina have to do with anything? Exactly. Kim was beautiful, so the prettier part makes absolutely no sense. If you're racist and pro-abuse, just say that. Absolutely. I'm so glad that someone pointed that out, that they always try to make this like a rage bait thing while the rest of the world is grieving the loss of this girl's innocence and the fact that she has to relive this humiliation. The fact that you can be so heartless, it just says a lot about your character. Nana Latrice says, I mean, when you do put it into perspective like that, technically means she went after a man you thought could give you success, or he constantly pursued her. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm not reading all that. Raquel says, Raquel Collins says there's something wrong with you. Exactly. Darlicia Johnson says, I hope this is an old video. Nope, it's not. It's definitely posted like earlier this week. It's apparently Diddy trafficked and exploited young artists. You don't know if she was forced or voluntarily became his side chick. Exactly. Dark-skinned Chelsea says Diddy made Kim lick her, you know what, and she laughed allegedly. Part of Kim's book. Yeah, that's like self-explanatory with the name. Michelle Patterson says, so in other words, she chose to get abused. Girl, you sound stupid. I just want to know why her parents didn't look after her. That's a good point. And Coder Love says, I agree, sis. We need to get it together. Woman power could stop a lot of this bull. That train we bonded with last year commands us to ride this out again. Respecting each other gotta be number one at all costs. Exactly. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My next video is going to be on another Exotical who, talked about her experience with abuse, but was completely shut out and completely ignored to the point to where most people didn't even know that she spoke out on it. So I'll give you guys a little sneak peek for that next video, and I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you.